Last August, California was brought to its knees by the most devastating wildfire in the state's recorded history. Over 200,000 hectares of forest were reduced to ashes. What remained was not silence, but the kind of stillness that only follows destruction: cracked earth, blackened trees, and an atmosphere heavy with the smell of soot. The skies stayed gray for weeks, mourning what was lost. And then, amidst the smoldering ruins, a new sound emerged. Not the growl of an animal, not the whisper of wind, but a mechanical rumble, low, deep, and unrelenting. A different kind of force had entered the battlefield. That sound belonged to the M700, towering over man and beast, weighing more than 60 tons. The M700 was not just a machine, it was a myth in motion. Dubbed the forest rebirth monster, the M700 wasn't built to fight fire, it was born to fight what comes after: despair, desolation, and silence. With its steel arms, it lifted burned tree trunks weighing nearly 2 tons and crushed them effortlessly. Its tracks tore through compacted post-fire soil, churning it back to life. It didn't rest, it didn't complain, and every path it carved through the ruined land became a scar of hope. Thomas, a field engineer from the Cal Fire Recovery Unit, remembers the first day he saw it in action. "I used to think machines like this only existed in sci-fi films," he says, "but then I saw it move. It didn't stop, it didn't hesitate, and in that moment, I knew we had a chance." The M700 wasn't a cold tool of metal, it was a partner in restoration. Each track it left behind allowed oxygen to return to suffocated soil. Each burned stump it removed made space for new roots. And each ton of debris it processed marked the rebirth of an ecosystem thought lost forever. But the M700 didn't work alone. Around it, ecologists, foresters, data engineers, and drone pilots formed a recovery ecosystem. They tracked humidity levels, assessed fire damage zones, and mapped out viable replanting paths. But always at the center, moving steadily forward, was the M700. Maria, a young ecologist, recalls the moment she saw a single patch of green grass sprouting from blackened soil. "I couldn't believe it. After months of lifelessness, that small patch felt like the whole forest was breathing again. I cried, not for what we lost, but for what was coming back." There were days of storm, when rain turned the land to mud, when all other machines shut down. But the M700 kept going. Equipped with real-time soil sensors, balance control systems, and AI-assisted navigation, it adjusted to every challenge, like a seasoned veteran reading the battlefield. Under the blood-orange sunsets of a post-fire sky, the M700 continued to work. What once sounded like machinery became music, the hum of hope, the pulse of life returning. By autumn, the scorched land had changed. Burned wood was gone, soil was aerated, seedlings were planted, micro-irrigation tubes were quietly laid down, and slowly, the forest began to breathe again. But this is not just a story about one machine. It is about a new kind of alliance between man and machine, between innovation and nature. What began in California is now spreading to Colorado, to Portugal, to South Africa. M700 units and their successors are being deployed where fire and climate collapse have taken root. But they bring more than steel and gears, they bring lessons. That healing takes courage, that rebuilding takes vision, that technology, when aligned with purpose, can be an instrument of grace. The M700 became more than machinery. It became a symbol of humanity's refusal to surrender. A symbol of regeneration, not revenge, of resilience, not despair. Stand now in the middle of that recovering forest and listen. You'll hear the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, the buzz of bees finding their way home. And if you listen closely, you may just hear the hum of M700 in the distance. Not as a roar of destruction, but as the steady rhythm of renewal.